Hello everyone and welcome back. It's hobby night. Where or what are we calling it? I can't remember what I was calling it. I had some fancy name that made it kind of flow with Monday, but yeah, no, it's hobby night. So, welcome back to hobby night. And I think I should have set up. Oh, is it not? Been having some sources. Oh, there we go. How do we deactivate and reactivate? There. Oh, and then there should be some filtering. Huh. Didn't quite adjust the same way. Here, maybe it's still adjusted properly for... There we go. Yeah, that works better. I've switched to a different camera. We still have... Oh, let's see if I can... There. Hee. We have a top-down view on the paint palette that I use, the wet palette. We won't really be using that today. And now we have my point of view, kind of, still up down at my desk. But better yet, I can zoom in for better detail. For far more control. So tonight, in our hobby night, I figured I would kind of go through step by step, taking raw materials, these and some blank bases, and creating we have trench bases that look like the wet duck boards. So yeah, I figured I'd kind of go through and show you the process of how I make these. It's all pretty simple, very basic materials needed. Other than our bases, I've got here, what were they? They're coffee stir sticks. These here, and look, just a hobby saw here. I thought I had a, oh, here it is. Cut the ends off of the coffee stir sticks and cut them into reasonable lengths. Let's move this up and out of our way here. And we will get to all of this as we need it. And yeah, kind of just line it up, find out the lengths that I need for these bases. Let's angle this up a little better. Now, it doesn't even need to be precise. You can just kind of notch these things. And they'll snap nice and easy. pretty clean. And then with these, kind of hold them down and cut them in half, once again, lengthwise. Like so. There we go. These are now our 2x4s. So yeah, that's some of our raw materials there. We're gonna need some super glue, some Elmer's glue, or PVA. Can be the white, the clear, doesn't really matter. Other materials that we will be using. Just grab them out here. Fine Turf Soil by Woodland Scenics. It is like a fine foam powder. I use that for making the muddy ground that these boards are sunken into. Now we're just going to be doing some small 25mm bases just for some basic infantry models. Nothing too fancy, but with just this basic process you could easily expand upon it to create greater dioramas. So yeah, let's see here. At our 25mm base, we're gonna angle us back down here. Out of the way. Grab our little 2x4. Then, alright. Okay. Alright, keep everything in frame here. Put a little bit of super glue on the plank here. Doesn't need to be too much. Use this one to kind of find a center point. Just gonna press it on there. Now, I'm gonna use, actually, we're going to use one of the full ones here as a spacer between. So there'll be a board and then a board's thickness between each board. Now, you'll notice as you've cut them in half, they won't all be equally split 50-50. You'll end up with some thinner boards, some wider boards. That'll help sell the aesthetic. Because these boards, sitting in mud and getting trampled on, they're gonna get broken and chipped and decay. Yeah, so as we can see here, it is just the board's thickness between them. Pardon me. So we're gonna just keep doing that, plugging away. Got a couple of these made. I've got 10 of these bases set aside. Now, normally I'd be moving a little quicker with these. I'll be listening to like an audiobook or something as I work. And I'm also working around a camera right now. Yeah. Just trying to keep myself talking. Maybe I'd have better luck with tweezers. Getting it stuck to my fingers here. Always. Because I just clipped these ones off of the models that they're going to be going back onto later. There's some leftover model on the edge of the base there, not letting it sit flat, making it harder for the super glue to hold the board there. So I'm going to give that a quick sanding. I've just taken a cloth to sop up some of that wet glue. Got a small triangular file here. It's almost there. It's looking a little better though. That's better. It's sticking on, and I haven't had to reapply more glue to the stick. So yeah, we need a couple more. Why am I having such a hard time? Why am I struggling so much to hold these? There we go. That's much better. Better. Oh. So yeah, like I said, I usually listen to an audiobook while I toil away at doing a whole bunch of these in one go. Got my now somewhat cold coffee here. Ah, as usual, my throat. One. That over there. That one should be fine. It's mostly texture paint. It'll help the glue find purchase there. That one doesn't seem to be quite as stable, but I keep bumping the pop filter I've got on my mic here. to expedite the process, I'm gonna skip the, using the board as a spacer. Just kind of eyeball it. I don't mind if mine look a little more crooked here and there. But the, spacer can help you, keep things a little more uniform. Pardon me, sorry. You can always kind of file and pick out more between the boards too. Got a couple shorter planks here to help fill in the edges without having too much excess. Or overhang. Now, overhang's not necessarily a problem. We're going to be cleaning that up later on. There we go. Another one down. So how is everybody doing this fine Monday? Hope everyone had a good weekend. Here, yeah, I'll just dump all of the little planks here. I'll just be all there for me to continue to pick from. Perfect. Just rolling up my sleeves a little bit better. Just kind of pressing it down into the base. Hey yo, welcome back, Three Dogs. How's it going? Chicken. Yeah, no, I'm nice and relaxing here too. I've got audiobook on in the background, playing in my headphones. Enjoying some coffee. I have been good. Keeping myself busy. Really enjoying the fact that I've decided to start doing more hobby streams. I like being able to... wanting to find a way to incorporate more of my interests into my streaming. And yeah, settled on this and I'm very happy. How about you? How have you been? Oh, good, good. So yeah, don't know if you caught the very beginning, but we're taking these plain old bases that I'm recycling, and they will eventually... they will, when they're done, end up looking a little more like this. So they look more like trench, like the duck boards in a trench. So they're all muddy, wet. These ones still look a little glossy and shiny because I just did the resin coat on them. I'm going to be dulling them down with a satin coat. They'll still look wet, but they won't be as reflective. And these little ones are going to be more for smaller infantrymen. I've got a couple ones that I've been working on that are going to be more for like elite character models and all that. Yeah. And then, so there's skulls embedded in the wall there. Couple under the duck boards. Then bones and roots in what would be just the just in the ground in the dirt on the other side of the trench there. So I've still got to cap off the ends there and finish them up, but it's a bit of a project that I've been slowly working on. Yeah, no, they're not quite so easy to pick out yet. I need to brush them up with a little extra paint and let them pop up. Thank you. Yeah, it was kind of just a bit of an experiment. I kind of had a whole bunch of the coffee stir sticks laying around, and I just cut them up to be little, I don't know, looking somewhat like 2x4s. And it's like I can make some stuff that looks kind of like mud. Yeah, it's been a fun experiment. And I think it's gonna turn out. Posture check? Oh, good idea. My shoulders have been in very bad shape lately. I've been hunched over way too much. Ooh. Actually, I should have some of my water. I'm drinking a lot of coffee. Water. Thank you for the reminder. And then yeah, like it's such a fun and easy product. Like nothing even needs to be like done to any sort of precision. Actually, the less precise, the better these little things are, because then they look more realistic and worn out. And then, like that wall that I was shown is just bricks of styrofoam that I cut up, just to help make a bit of a support to build onto. And I think I just got that from like recycled packaging or something. So how's the chicken? Use like a couple of these little shorter ones for the getting closer to the ends there. Ooh, a set of macaroni and cheddar and broccoli. Yum. that does sound good. Just kind of press them into place. Try not to bump them off before they've actually set into place, you know? Or getting them stuck to your own fingers. Super glue is nasty for that. That one. Be number 4. Four down, that means 6 blank ones to go. But see, I was all smart. I need to make 10. However, having extras is always nice. And it just means I can expand faster. But I have some partway done. Kind of like a whole Martha Stewart making a chicken thing. She puts it in the oven and instantly pulls out a done one to show you what to do next. So, I've got some ready for the next steps, but we're gonna make our way through some of these a little bit. But yeah, I'll be able to do some of the processes a little faster because I won't necessarily have to wait for everything to dry completely because I'll have some ready. And yeah, like I literally just clipped these off of other models, so they'll be going right back on the models later. Fresh new bases. Ideally, I think I need about 20, but I'm only going to do enough for one unit at a time for now. Then last Monday, was it? I didn't have anything really planned, so I was just kind of hanging out, chatting, painting. I finished what I was working on then. Oh, where are they? Here they are. Nice and finished. Oil washes. I put some... oh, they look like maybe church relic floors or something. Yeah. So I did up 4 of those. And they are such a pain to like store in anything because those little like dainty tentacles will just break. But they look cool. I'd like to make some sort of like display thing for some of these. That way I don't need to transport them. I can just kind of set them up and then not have to worry about them. Yeah, that might actually be fast. I just spread a little bit on the base, and then lay them out. Yeah, no, I think that might be the faster process. Learning as we go. That's the nozzle on that glue bottle is getting plugged up. It almost feels like it's inevitable for that to happen when you buy one. Yeah, no. I keep bumping into my microphone. Hmm. How many? Yeah. It's kind of roughing the texture so the glue holds it a little better. There. Find ones that kind of fit the form of it. Oh. I'm stuck to that one. That's not good. I don't know that we've got enough planks for all of them, but oh, that one's really. Actually, we'll just do this last one, and we can start on to the next step. Super glue should be dry on most of them by then. Sticky fingers for sure. At least I haven't stuck my fingers to themselves yet. That may happen. At least, not yet. splintery bits. Nasty super glue, because we're not going to need the super glue anymore. Yeah, plugged up. Okay, so now we've got our planks laid out and stuck onto the bases there. Got a few bases there. What are we gonna need next? Next step. Going to need a mixing cup. This one I was just using for this very same thing not too long ago. We're gonna need some acrylic white paint. This is the Liquitex Basics that I've been using because it's very, very cheap. We're gonna need the white glue that I had out earlier, or PVA glue. Doesn't matter if it's white or clear, just PVA. And we are going to need our substrate, our turf that we're going to be using. I'm using the stuff from Woodland Scenics. It's like the fine foam powder. You could use sand. They have a different way of using it on the back. I'm making it into more of a sculptable mud that we can use to press between the boards and make them look sunken. So yeah, we're going to be moving on to that step. First though, we're going to be taking a quick break so I can go top up my water and my coffee and all that. We're about to have some of those auto ads roll anyway. So yeah, quick break, and when I return, we will be moving on to the next step. We will be right back. I'm back. Okay. So, we are moving on to the second step. We have our bases planked. We need to start making some mud. So, got a spare one of those coffee stir sticks. I'm just gonna clean up the mixing cup that I was using earlier. Waste not, want not. The cup's still fine. No point in throwing out a paper cup if it's still functional. I'm just using it for crafting stuff anyway. Oh no! Exactly! Nice. Wanna know what's really hilarious? When this video goes up on YouTube later, they will copyright that even though she is saying fuck it all. And Disney actually claims it. It's hilarious because no one there is bothering to listen to it. Okay, so yeah, as you can kind of see here, I'm pouring in a generous amount of my turf. All packed in there. Well, not packed, but nice little mountain of it. Next, where did I just put it? I did just have it. Ah, here it is. Next, we want a generous amount of the PVA glue. Let that all pour in here. Let it kind of pour down to the bottom of the container. Come on. There we go. We want a fair amount in there. Because we need to be able to stir this all up and make it a pretty liquidy, yet still thick. Let's take a peek here. That might do. Let's start stirring it in and we'll see. Oh, not quite enough glue yet. Still way too dry. Yeah, needs more glue. Come on. Glue moves so slow. I'm almost out of glue. No. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna leave that laying like that, so we can maybe get a little more glue out of it. Almost there. No. I hope I have enough for this. Yeah, you kind of need a fair bit, because it, you want it to all kind of bind together. It'll also help it bind itself down onto the plastic base. But yeah, you kind of need it to get to this almost like clump consistency. Like, it's not fully slurry, it's still acting almost dry, but not quite. And then you can either add paint to help save you later steps of painting or adding color to it later. Like I showed earlier, I sometimes use that Liquitex white, because then it'll take on other color easily. But since I need it to be nice and dark, so it looks like wet, muddy earth, I'm going to be adding, what is this? This is Pro Tint. It is just straight paint tint in raw umber. So it's a nice, very, very dark brown. And because it doesn't have any like paint medium in it, it's not acrylic medium in there, just the tint. It has a pretty thin consistency. It looks kind of like chocolate sauce going on there. Now we're gonna just mix that into there as well. we're actually gonna switch tools. Because that little plank just isn't enough. I've got, it's like a little mini spatula. It's got a flat end as well. Really handy for this sort of thing. So yeah, we just want to make sure we're getting that tint mixed all the way through here. Yeah, looks like we're missing a chunk down at the bottom that's mixed in yet. There we go. Now, because we've just used plain raw tint, we can even thin that out a little more. Because I've chosen to use PVA for this mix just out of simplicity and cost. PVA is cheap, plentiful, non-reactive for the most part. You can thin it with water. PVA is water activated, so if you were to slather this stuff down and let it start drying, you could remove it by adding a little bit of water. What I'm going to do to thin mine a little further is I have from Minotaur, which is a paint line, they have what they call ghost tints. It's pretty much an acrylic ink. So again, very, very thin in consistency. It's literally just a couple drops of ink there. Yeah, see, whereas the tint kind of had some body to it, this ink literally just splashes on there. I'm using it instead of water because it'll at least add more tone to the brown color. And we'll have a nice side effect of staining the wooden planks when we slather it on there. Okay. Let's move this out of the way. Step this up a bit. Pressing that first base. So all that is a pill bottle and some sticky tack to hold the model bases firm. Nice makeshift painting handle lets me paint very close to the bases without getting my fingers all mucky, even though they are already and inevitably always going to be mucky when painting. But yeah, this is the fun part. Don't be afraid to make a mess. You are literally going to just take it, press it into the boards. Kind of dragging it down from one side to the other. We're trying to press it down in between the planks. Oh, yeah, they're not even mine. They're some that I've dug out of old recycle bins and whatnot. So I think they're pretty much sunburnt and covered in paint anyway. Bam. We're just gonna slather this all on here. But yeah, you're right. That is something to be concerned about on the internet. Do not just go giving out very personal information. It can be very dangerous. So yes, thank you very much for your concern, as it is a very real concern. So yeah, you can see we have some nice muddy boards now. And because we want it to look like the mud is somewhat down under the boards, and there'll be like some rainwater collecting in between the planks, we're gonna take the fine point of this tool. You could use a toothpick, old paintbrush. I do recommend a very old, messed up paintbrush if you're going to use a paintbrush. Do not sacrifice a decent brush for this. Yeah, we're gonna just kind of pick the grooves a little bit. You don't want it quite flush to the surface. Not quite yet. But don't worry about trying to scrape too much of it out. We are going to make a better divot later on in the process once it's dry. So if it just kind of helps you do a little bit beforehand. So yeah, I'm gonna set these ones aside, ones that I'm finishing. I'll put them off. Oh, here, I'm gonna put them over. There. So yeah, we just put that one there. And what I'm gonna do is when I've got enough of them over, or when I have all of these ones done, I'm gonna go put them in I've got a drying cabinet. So a nice insulated, sealed cabinet with a heater in it. And to help speed up my process of painting, yeah, I got new angles happening. But yeah, I use a heated cabinet to help speed up my painting as well. Painting and I guess basing and all that. Oh. And once the initial layer dries, we end up kind of giving them a quick roughing up with the file across the top, just to kind of help a little more of a fake wood grain back into them. We're not too worried about these rough corners because we're going to be snipping those off to more conform to the round base. Two down. Now I'm getting this figured out. Making these on my own is one thing. Trying to do it all on camera. Whole other kettle of fish. Hopefully these angles are decent enough. Kind of tell what's going on, hopefully. Yeah, so we're kind of just trying to fill them up. Doesn't matter if there's like little pockets that don't get fully filled. It'll help make for better puddles. There. You kind of just end up getting in kind of a groove with it, you know? Just keep kind of stirring the mix around so it doesn't set up on you while you're trying to work with it. That's annoying. Wasting a batch of mix. Currently listening to, audiobook. Or re-listening to audiobooks. Bad habit of doing that. I'll go over and either reread or re-listen to them several times. I mean, I guess it's not too different than rewatching your favorite movie. Coffee here. I like sci-fi adventure or action sci-fi. Also a big fan of like cosmic horror or grimdark sort of stuff. Right now I'm listening to the Horus Heresy series. Not too long ago, I was listening to some H.P. Lovecraft. What about you? Do you have any favorite genres or favorite books or audiobooks or? Oh yeah, Mr. Nightmare. Ooh, I'll have to look that up. And yeah, I'll be doing some more narration soon. I haven't been able to do a lot of video editing, but been able to do a little bit of tinkering with the computer, so now it won't overheat if I do some light video editing. So that means I'll be able to do, yeah, some actual recording and edit them down and make more readings again. Nice, yeah, I'll definitely have to look them up then. Oh, yeah, I've missed doing the story recordings. Be nice to get back into it. Ooh. Crime narration. Fun. Bumping into my microphone. Hopefully that's not picking that up if it's too loud. Yeah, about it. Don't... Well, the last time I listened to much, like, crime narration stuff. Think about the last time I listened to something similar. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't think of last time I listened to any good crime narration, that's for sure. Or any, yeah. Mostly audiobooks. Some podcasts, not too many. All pretty niche. One that I like is the Distractable podcast with Markiplier and his friends, Bob and Wade. It's just like this mixed bag. It's hilarious. Good time. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them there. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly run and put those. Yes, exactly. You missed a little bit. The first step was I made some little fake 2x4s out of coffee stir sticks. I cut them up using just a little hobby saw. You could use a X-Acto knife, just be very careful. Glue those down onto your base, leave a little bit of spacing. This is the mix that I was using. Here, I've actually got a... Just gonna grab a spare base. Okay. So, it was the fine turf powder. Put that in the cup. White glue, PVA, Elmer's glue. Put that in there. Mix it up until it starts clumping. Then to thin it to the spreading paste consistency, add in your paint or tint or color. You could use simple things just like Liquitex Basics and then add colored paint on top of that, or like I use just straight tint, and you just keep stirring that up until you get the nice sticky, messy, spreadable you can use popsicle sticks to press it and spread it. I've got some little tools here. The more PVA, the better it will stick to the basing. It helps if you kind of press for the first little bit, because you want it to... Yes, you could use a little bit of water. Be very slow when adding water. It goes a long way with thinning PVA. PVA is water activated. But it will definitely work for thinning it out to making it a spreadable consistency. we do want to press it to glue pour. Oh, okay, yeah. No. First, you're gonna want to press it because you're trying to get the PVA to like stick and press, like almost vacuum seal it onto the base as well. If your bases have next to no texture on the top, like some bases have that rough, gritty plastic. If yours doesn't have that, you can always file it and rough it up a bit. You want some micro grooves for this to all bite into. Oh yeah, we got a little extra here. Clean that up off of the edge. If you want a more flat, even top, you could use water on your sculpting tools to help. Actually, yeah, I've got a second tool here. Let's get that wet. So yeah, you can smooth it if you want more of a like top layer just by using a little bit of water on your tools. But yeah, the thicker you do it, the longer it's going to need to sit to dry. So we have this out of the way here. We've got our recent ones here, all still wet and sticky with PVA muddiness. I'm going to stick this one with it. I'm going to quickly dash and put these in the heated cupboard. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick ad break so I can go do that. I'm gonna top up my coffee in that time. And when we return, I'm gonna have some pre-assembled bases to show the next steps for what to do once your mud has dried. So yeah, I will be right back. And I'm back. So, I just threw them in the heated cabinet there. But clean up our workspace a little bit. Drop these in the water. Pardon me, my throat. The warm box. Pardon me. On. Oh. Okay. Hydrate. More water. No, I could do that. slowly drown myself with my bottle of water. It's okay. Oh no, are we getting a battery warning on my camera? This, Oh no. Okay, go fast. You made your own notes, but you can't decipher your own shorthand. I have done the same. Okay, so we've got some that I had pre-drying already. As you can tell, they kind of overhang the base. So, deal with that. I'm just going to take my snips. They are flush cut snips. And we're gonna cut off kind of in a rough circular form. It doesn't need to be perfect. These ones are the Citadel from Games Workshop. They're okay. Mine are some pretty rough shape, so I only use them for just rough jobs. I've got a nicer utility pair that I actually use for doing my model kits. Done quickly. Oh yeah. Mine aren't that fancy. Or at least my nice ones aren't that fancy. Last one. Here how long this camera's battery. So we might have to swap to a really awkward camera angle for a little bit. Wouldn't be end of the world, nor will it be the end of the stream. Okay, so we've got those all snipped up. Yeah. They look all kinda flat and boring, like there's no real wood grain left to them because they've just kind of been slathered. What we're gonna do to fix that, taking our little file, lightly hitting them, trying to pick out individual bits where we can. You want some of it to come off, to stay on. It'll kind of help out some of the wood grain. It'll help make it look like some of the boards are damaged. Come on. Lengthwise process it well, so we get individual boards a little easier. Right? We don't need to spend too long with each one. We just want it to be identifiable as what it is. We want to be able to look at it and go, oh, that is a plank. Not, that looks like funny grass. I don't know. Right? Because at the end of the day, this is the base of your model. You want it to look nice, but you don't want it to distract or subtract from the overall model. Now, these ones, since I did just smear them, there's not much of a groove left between each board. Now, this is a triangular file. You could do this with a toothpick, a butter knife, a utility knife. I'd be very careful with that. I'm just going to take the edge of my other file and run it in the grooves. Add a little extra depth back into them for the next step. Yep. A little less even now. That one, I'd say. Good. As I bump my headphones yet again. So yeah, we're gonna just continue that process. The rest of these ones. So yeah, how's your evening going, Squeak? Nice. Yeah, I saw those in the Discord there. They look like they're coming along. Glad you found the missing one. I wonder how long, because the battery light on this camera is blinking and showing me that there's like no battery left. say? We'll find out. It's gone for at least 2 hours now. Maybe next Monday I'll turn the camera off on the breaks. It doesn't necessarily need to be on for those, I guess. I'm not sitting here. Oh. Well, no, I just charged the battery, so it looks like it only gets about 2 hours and 10 minutes of charge time. So, the other camera angle that we have available is not very good. But yeah, what I can do is I can go and charge the other camera battery for now while we do this. Come on. There we go. Yeah, it's a very old battery. It's my cousin's old camera. She sold it to my mother many, many years ago. She never ended up using it, so now I have it. And yeah, there's no charging cable for this one, unfortunately. Like, it has the ability to have a charging cable, we just don't have the charging cable. So, yeah, I will be right back. I'm going to just run and drop this battery back in the charger. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. But yeah, we'll leave this camera on. I'll be right back, and I'll just try and show off things the best I can. And describe things as well as I can. Yeah, it's not the worst. So we'll work with it for now. I will be right back. Taking my headphones off. There we go. Where'd that battery go? There it is. Putting my headphones back on. However, now that I actually think about it, so we're 2 hours into it already. I don't know that battery is going to charged up enough within the hour to really be of much use. But here, I can move the light so it is where we need it. Actually, here, you can kind of see what I've got going on. I'll tilt the camera just slightly. Oh. Sneaky, sneaky. So yeah, I've got a desk mount for my DSLR here. And this is where I've been, painting. So I have to, like, lean over. But I'd say it's not so bad. And, it's been working out. Oh yeah, like well within my arm's reach. There we go. Ooh, you can kind of see I built, this is a chunk of scrap wood and I've turned it into a headphone mount. So I can just hang my headphones up on that when I'm done with them. Just unplugging the camera because I don't need it here. We're not using it. Capture cards just under the edge there. Yeah, it's very, very handy being able to just have a place to hang up your headphones. Keeps them within convenient reach. Yeah, it's just a nice little Sony, what is it? Cybershot? Nothing fancy. A little DSLR. Hoping that that kind of helps up my production quality here. Just moving this desk mount out of my way now. That's just a kind of C-clamp sort of thing. I'm using GoPro adapters. Okay. So I've got one more of these bases here. Oh. Just need to scratch up those boards a little more. And the amount that you end up sanding them is kind of a to taste, to flavor sort of thing. If you want more of a defined wood grain pattern, I'd recommend something more like a dental pick or a O-ring pick like this. And then you could actually scratch in individual wood grain designs. With that, you can get really creative with it. I've done something similar. Not that you'll see the wood grain in these yet. They need some stain on them. But, oh, too much glare there. Hard to tell. They are kind of like, oh, god damn, that light. I've put stuff on it to kind of... There we go. It's kind of like a hut-style door. And yeah, I'm gonna have more of a defined wood pattern on those. Yeah, exactly. I'm just using a rough, and like my file's worn, like there's stuff caked into the teeth on this file, so it doesn't give a very even sanding anymore, so it really helps give a wood grainy effect. Yeah, no, it's been awesome having you here again, Three Dogs. I hope you have a good evening, man. And you take care. Or good day. I can't remember what time zone you're in. You could be one of them future people. Almost 11 there? Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, take care. Have a good night, man. Thanks again for coming by. So yeah, now what I'm doing is not only am I putting the edge of the file in the groove to clean out some of that mud to make for deeper puddle effects, I'm letting it lean over to kind of clean up and define the edge of each board, scraping off the muddy brown to reveal the whiter wood to give sort of like a false highlight in a way. So those are the 3 that are done, or at least ready for the next step. Yeah, because after this, I don't really plan on doing any extra like dry brushing to add a highlight. I'm kind of counting on the peeling off of layers to kind of give a similar effect of a highlight. Exactly. I mean, if you were painting something with a gray paint on the gray plastic, and you were using a slightly darker gray paint than the gray plastic, you could do a similar thing. But yeah, it just wouldn't have the same visual effect. Or visual impact. So what I'm doing with this one, instead of going over each board like I did with the others to show all of the grains, this one I'm just gonna do the very edges to show you a more extreme. Because it'll help you see where each of the indents is. I'll eventually, yeah, end up going over the whole thing again. But... Exactly. And because I just used raw tint, I didn't add extra paint in for medium. It really does help act as a stain for the wood. But yeah. There we go. Yeah. It just helps add a little more contrast between the pits and the raised planks. Pardon me. Because when you're working with bases, you don't always have a lot of real depth to work with. These planks are very thin, and then I'm right to the surface of the base again, so I want to try and create fake depth as much as possible. Pardon me. We're finally getting into spring, so allergies are starting to kick in. Yeah, you have a good having a good day so far, Squeak? Good. Good to hear. Oh, yeah. Oh, pardon me. There we go. I think I like the look of that one. Kinda pulled a little more off of it. Oh, just having a nice little evening here. Listening to audiobooks as I work. There we go. I think, yeah, with all of these, I'll have enough to do my squad. I'll have to do another set of these at a later time, but doing up about 10 of them. I think I've actually got 8 drying. Yeah, 13 of these. Not bad. I'll need at least 20 total eventually. Because, yeah, not all of my Adeptus Mechanicus stuff is going to go on a trench-themed base. They're all battlefield, but each themed more appropriately around their particular purposes, I guess. Like, here, actually, I've got a picture right here. No, did that not work? Oh, duh. There we go. So yeah, this is just a quick thumbnail that I'm using for later. But the larger base on the top left of that photo, which is a large brick wall, that's going to be a firing emplacement for one of my heavier units. The one on the left there is another trench base, but with some stairs and a wall leading out. So I was kind of envisioning that as a like the entrance in and out of the trench line. That's going on more of a heavier infantry unit. But with things like what are they? Come on, why am I blanking on the names now? The Adeptus Mechanicus, they are the tech priests. That's the word I'm looking for. I've got some textured rolling pins for doing my green stuff. So, hopefully, there we go. So I'm doing it so they're on like stonework floors with intricate patterns, because the tech priests would not bother going down into the trench line with the infantry. That's dirty work. They're going to be sending orders from somewhere nicer. So yeah, these bases still need to be primed up and painted and given some washes, but that's kind of the general idea. I'm still trying to figure out how to do those the way I want them. I use Milliput instead of the actual green stuff brand green stuff. But it has a bad habit of sticking to every single surface. It helps if you make it wet, but that only lasts for so long. So I end up losing some of the detail in my sculpting or rolling, because it'll like stick to the roller or get stuck in the detail of the roller, or it'll get stuck on, like I'll use tin foil to roll it out on the desk so it doesn't get stuck to the desk. But then I can't get it back off of the tin foil to then glue it to the base, and it's like, it's a mess. There we go. Another thing that really helps with the green stuff if you're making bases, round cutters. They are literally just round circular cookie cutters for doing green stuff, but they're all like pre-measured diameters. It's like 48 millimeter, which is the perfect diameter for a 50 millimeter base, because they have that slight tapered edge. Or a 22 millimeter for 25 millimeter bases. So you could roll out a large sheet of your textured green stuff, and then cut out specific parts of the pattern for specific bases. Because what I had originally tried doing would be like pressing the blobs of the green stuff down on the bases, rolling the texture on top, and then using like a hobby knife or something to try and trim the edge. They never ended up nice and flat. They would always kind of smush and mushroom over. Okay, so we have those ones there all filed and ready. The next step would be, I just need a little tray or something that I can transport them on. Oh yeah. Like the pre-made tufts. Aha. Oh. Okay, so I've got what I'm going to use as a tray. Very fitting. We are using a Dreamcast case for Sonic Shuffle. Sonic's cheap knockoff of Mario Party. That is actually kind of fun. I think I've played it here on stream, so. We just need that for after we get the next stage ready. Give this bottle a shake. So, what I'm using is Green Stuff World's UV resin. And that's what I'm using for the water effect. Normally for just these little jobs, you'd have a tiny little ultraviolet flashlight for curing just these individual little bases or things like that. Or small display things. I don't have one of those itty bitty flashlights. I instead have a giant UV curing cabinet for doing my 3D printing. So that's what I will be using. So, what we end up doing, we're going to take one of these bases, I'm going to, on the painting handle that I was using earlier, just got a stump of blue tack to hold the base there. Now, what I've got here is... Oh, come on. Focus. Come on. A pea-sized blob of UV resin just sitting on top. Gonna take one of my uncut planks here. Just start spreading it into all of those little recesses, because we want it to look like water sitting on top of the mud and wet planks. Now, big warning here. You do not want to get UV or any liquid resin on your skin. If you get it on, immediately go and wash it off. Do not go into sunlight. There's lots of UV spectrum light in sunlight. It is a exothermic reaction. What that means chemically is it's going to get very hot as it cures. Okay, so now that I've spread it kind of all over, what I want to do is take a hard edge, so like the corner of the plank. I'm trying to scrape across the top of the planks. I mean, it's pretty thick stuff, so it's gonna be pretty hard for you to get it on your skin accidentally. I recommend using gloves if you're not used to working with this stuff. But yeah, we're trying to scrape as much of it off of the top of the planks as possible. It won't be possible to get it all off unless you use like a rag or something, but that's not what we want to do. We want it to leave like a very thin film-like residue of the resin on the planks, but we want the majority of it in those grooves. That'll help give it the look like rain just having settled on the planks and washed off into the mud between them. Now I'm going to, pardon me, big yawn. Yes. Base off and set it on our tray. And get the next one ready. So yeah, it's a pretty simple process. Another way of doing it would be using the pouring style resin. You'd have to do a couple things differently though. That stuff is usually of a thinner consistency, and it will continue to kind of run off of the base, so you'd have to make a wall around it, like a dam with tape, and then pour the resin in. But then you would end up with a layer of resin on top. But once it's fully dried and cured, you could then sand that down to the boards. But a little more work. Very similar effect. The pouring stuff is better suited for, like, if you want to make ponds or like actual water effects. This is good for when you want, yeah, little mud puddles and things. A little extra. Spread that onto the next one. Getting a little ahead of myself. Oops. Pretty done. Whole bunch of extra stir stick, so that works out. But yeah, resin's not too dangerous if you're very good with your cleanup. Actually, so I had a bit of an accident early on when I got my first resin printer. You're supposed to shake the bottles, because like most liquids in bottles, things can settle out. So I go to shake one of my bottles, having forgotten that I had already recently opened it, but I hadn't closed the lid completely. So I'm getting ready to give it a good wind back to give it a good solid shake, because it's pretty thick liquid. It's got a pretty decent consistency to it. The lid ended up slopping off, and I got just resin everywhere, all over the place. My workshop has a patch of wall now that's all like smooth with solid resin. Got it all up in my hair, so I had to go and shower right away and all that. But yeah, as long as you wash it off. Okay. Last one. It's all spread all over there. Nice. And then, okay, we've got 12 minutes left. So I'm going to drop these off into the UV curing station. But before I do that, I'm just gonna set them aside here. And abracadabra. We have 3 cured ones here. Yeah. Oh. So yeah, they still end up, when they're fresh out of the exactly, I feel like Martha Stewart. I had bare bases, I had bases halfway through, and I had some completely done, so I could do these quick swaps for you. But yeah, so right after your resin is cured, it's going to be very, very glossy like this. Right, to the point where I'm gonna have a hard time getting. Oh, look, it's gonna settle. Yay. So it's not gonna look very realistic right off the bat. So what we're gonna have to do after is to knock it down, so then the boards look less glossy, but everything still looks proper wet. We're gonna knock it down with a satin coat. Because yeah, gloss is just a little too much. But yeah, that is how I go about making these muddy trench plank bases. Yeah. I have any other... Oh, here's part of that pattern that I was using in the green stuff, but with some gray paint and black wash in the recesses, so it stands out a little better. Yeah. And then, so I ended up doing that and using those fresh cookie cutters for those death shrimp. And I put them on those same bases now. Oh, it's gonna have a hell of a time trying to... There we go. So yeah, the nice light gray bases help stand apart from the dark red and griminess of the death shrimp. So yeah, I'm rather pleased with how those have all been turning out. But yeah, so that is, or has been, a step-by-step full process on my trench bases. I will have this video up on YouTube later in the week. I will be, so I'll end up cutting the ad breaks and all that out of it. And it'll just be start to finish, the whole process. You are very welcome. And then we made up a whole bunch of that mix, and I still have a whole bunch here ready to go. But as long as you keep stirring it, it'll stay in a somewhat sculptable condition. And as you add a little bit of water, you can kind of reactivate the PVA again. You might have to add a little more glue. But yeah, so if you have a whole bunch of bases, or you want to do thicker layering with it, like with these trench bases, we're using very minimal amounts. But if you want to build up some turf and terrain on a base, it's very possible to do with this. So yeah, thank you everybody who came out for yet another successful Makers Monday. Another great hobby night. I hope you all have an awesome weekend, and our next stream, Wednesday. Wednesday we are going to be playing The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64. We're going to be continuing off where we left, I believe. We are in the Water Temple. That's awful. And then after that, the next stream will be on Friday, where we are continuing the awesome playthrough of Doom. But yeah, thanks again everyone. I hope you have an awesome evening. And until next time, bye-bye.